Most people believe they are free. They wake up, go to work, follow routines, and make choices. But what if I told you, most of your choices aren't really yours? Society has already shaped them. Your beliefs, your fears, your limits. They didn't start with you. They were planted, conditioned, reinforced. And now, without realizing it, you live inside an invisible prison. This prison isn't made of bricks and iron. It's made of expectations, fear, and unspoken rules. You don't see it, but you feel it every time you hesitate to speak your truth. Every time you would choose safety over your dreams. Every time you want fear judgment more than you desire freedom. And just like that, you stay in line, not because you want to, but because you were trained to. But by whom? Your family, your culture, your religion, your education, your society. Not with bad intentions, but with rules designed to keep you in check. At first, these rules seem helpful. Be responsible. Follow the path. Don't take risks. But then, the rules get tighter. Don't question. Don't stand out. Don't dream too big. And without knowing it, you become a main prisoner of the normal life. Most people believe they're making bad independent choices. But in reality, their choices have already been shaped by society. What to believe, what success looks like, what's right and wrong. From childhood, you were given a script. Follow it, and you'll be accepted. Challenge it, and you'll be outcast. And so, most people stay inside the lines. Not because they want to, but because they were taught to fear what's outside. Here's the truth. Every system benefits from your obedience. Jobs need employees, religions need followers, governments need controlled citizens, and they all function best when you don't question too much. But if you want true freedom, you have to start asking hard questions. Why do I believe what I believe? Who taught me that this is the right way? What if I was born in a different country? Would I think differently? The first step to freedom isn't escaping. It's seeing the prison for what it is. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Have you ever felt like society pushes you into a box? Comment below with, I see the prison. If you're ready to break free, and if you're getting value from this, hit that like button so more people can find this message. Now let's go deeper, because one of the biggest chains in this prison is the fear of judgment. Most people don't live their own lives. They live the version of life that keeps others happy. Why? Because the fear of judgment is one of the strongest chains holding people back. Every time you want to take a step forward, a voice whispers, what will they think? What if they laugh? What if they don't approve? And just like that, you hesitate. You play it safe. You stay in the comfort zone. Not because you're not capable, but because you're afraid of how others will see you. It starts early. As kids, we learn that approval equals love. If you behave, people smile. If you break the rules, you're scolded. If you fit in, you're accepted. If you stand out, you're criticized. Over time, the lesson becomes clear. To be safe, I must be liked. And so, we spend our lives trying to please, impress, and fit in, even if it means suffocating who we really are. The price of living for others. Most people will never experience true freedom, because freedom requires more not caring what others think. And that's terrifying, because once you stop living for approval, some people will misunderstand you, some will judge you, some will distance themselves from you. And that's the moment of truth. Will you keep playing small to keep them comfortable, or will you step into your power and risk being judged? Because here's the truth. people will judge you no matter what. If you're successful, they'll say you got lucky. If you struggle, they'll say you made bad choices. If you follow the rules, they'll say you have no backbone. If you break the rules, they'll say you're reckless. So why not live life on your own terms? The secret isn't to avoid judgment, it's to stop letting it control you. Because judgment is just noise. And the more you live authentically, the less that noise matters. Here's what to remember. People's opinions won't pay your bills. They won't build your dreams. They won't live with your regrets. So, why should their opinions decide your life? The moment you stop fearing judgment, you unlock a new level of freedom. Have you ever held back because of fear of judgment? Comment. I choose freedom. If you're done living for others, and if this message is speaking to you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this. We're diving into the most powerful control system of all, religious guilt, and how it's keeping people trapped without even realizing it. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. So, religion is meant to bring peace, yet for many, it brings a fear, guilt, and confusion. People are told that faith is about love, but they experience control. They are taught that God is merciful, yet they live in fear of making a mistake. Many grow up feeling that they must unearn their worth in the eyes of God, rather than accepting their divine connection. The question is, where does this guilt come from? And, more importantly, how do you break free from it without losing your faith? For centuries, religious institutions have used fear to keep people in line. The message is clear. If you follow the rules, you're saved. If you don't, you're doomed. But faith built on fear is not faith at all. Fear makes people obedient but not connected. It creates followers, not seekers. It stops people from asking questions, thinking deeply, and building a real relationship with God. People live their lives afraid of making a mistake, as if one wrong step will erase everything good they have ever done. This is not faith. This is control. Guilt makes you feel like you are never enough. You pray, but you wonder if you prayed the right way. You do good things, but you feel it's never enough. You live with an invisible weight on your shoulders, fearing that at any moment you might fail God. This mindset does not bring peace. It brings exhaustion. Many people walk away from faith altogether because they are tired of feeling like failures. They aren't rejecting God. They are rejecting the constant pressure of never feeling worthy. But the truth is, faith should not feel like a burden. It should feel like freedom. The first step to breaking free from religious guilt is to understand that God does not operate through fear. If fear is driving your faith, then you are being controlled, not empowered. True faith is about seeking, growing, and understanding. It is not about perfection. Faith is about connection, not obligation. If you feel that your relationship with God is based on fear and guilt rather than peace and love, it's time to rebuild it. Faith should make you feel lighter, not heavier. It should open your mind, not shut it down. It should give you hope, not anxiety. If your faith feels like a prison, then something is wrong with the foundation, and you are allowed to question it. People are often told that questioning religion is dangerous, that if you doubt, you are weak. But this is the opposite of the truth. Questioning is how faith grows. If your belief system cannot handle questions, then it was never strong to begin with. If you were taught that obedience is more important than understanding, then You were taught control, not faith. Real faith allows room for growth, exploration, and learning. God is not afraid of your questions. He is not offended by your doubts. Faith is a journey, and you are allowed to take that journey at your own pace. You are allowed to let go of the fear-based teachings that kept you stuck, because fear is not the language of God. Have you ever felt trapped by religious guilt? Share your story in the comments. What's one belief you had to unlearn in your faith journey? Let's talk about it. Family is supposed to be about love, support, and connection. But for many people, family means pressure, obligation, and guilt. You are expected to be who they want you to be, to follow their traditions, even if they don't align with who you are, to sacrifice your dreams, to make them proud, but at what cost? When does love become a chain instead of a bond? And how do you find your own path without losing the people you love? From the moment you are born, expectations are placed on you. Do this. Be like this. Make us proud. At first it seems normal, but over time, it feels suffocating. You realize that your choices are not truly yours. You are living for them, not for yourself. You stay in careers you hate to avoid disappointing them. You marry people they approve of, even if your heart is elsewhere. You suppress your dreams, your voice, and your truth, because you don't want to be the bad one. But what about your happiness? What about your life? Family love is powerful, but even so is family guilt. You are told that if you follow your own path, you are too selfish. That if you say no, you are disrespectful. That if you change, you are betraying your roots. But this is not love. This is control disguised as love. True love allows you to grow. It does not demand that you stay small to make others comfortable. But many people spend their lives trapped because they are afraid of disappointing their families. So they stay, they lie, they suffer in silence. Until one day they wake up and realize they never truly lived. The hardest part of breaking free is that haunts fear of losing people. But setting boundaries does not mean you are rejecting your family. It means you are choosing yourself. Here's how to do it. Stop seeking their approval. You don't need permission to live your life. Communicate with love, but stand firm. They may not understand at first, but that's okay. Redefine your relationship. You can love your family without obeying their every demand. Accept that not everyone will support you, and that's okay. You are not responsible for their emotions. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth. Family is more than blood. It's also the people who uplift you. You will never be fully free if your decisions are based on avoiding disappointment. You will never be truly happy if you are constantly trying to be what others want. At the end of your life, the question will not be, did I make my family proud? It will be, did I live the life I was meant to live? And that answer is on yours alone. Have you ever felt pressured to live a life that wasn't truly yours? Comment below. What's one expectation you had to break free from? Let's talk about it. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more life-changing truths. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, why do we live the way we do? Who decided that life should be about study, work, obey, struggle, and repeat? Most people don't question it. They just follow the system, thinking they're making their own choices. But are they? And once you see it, you can never unsee it. So stay with me, and let's break this down together. And before we go deep, let's shake up the comments. Do you think society is designed to keep people controlled? Drop your thoughts below. From the moment we are born, we are put into a system of control. A system that undictates what we should do, what we should value, and who we should be. But who really benefits from this system? Spoiler, it's not you. Think about it. You spend years in school, memorizing facts you'll never use. You are told to get a job or work hard and obey authority. You are conditioned to fear failure and never take risks. You are taught that money is hard to get and that suffering is noble. And the craziest part, most people accept this without question. Why? Because the system is designed to make you too busy, too tired, and too afraid to resist. We think we have freedom. We think we are making our own choices. But let's test that belief. Have you ever felt like you have to work a job you hate because that's just how life is? You have to follow the rules because going against them is dangerous. You have to please your family, society, or culture, or else you'll be rejected. If you said yes to any of these, then let's be real, that's not freedom. That's a script you were given, and you're just playing your part. The world doesn't want you to wake up. The system doesn't want you to think for yourself. Because the moment you do, you become dangerous to the way things are. Think about it. The school system trains employees, not thinkers. The corporate world rewards obedience, not creativity. The government promotes fear, not empowerment. The media feeds distractions, not truth. And guess what? The more controlled you are, the more predictable you become. And predictable people don't start revolutions. So how do you break out? You have to start by thinking differently. Stop believing that life has to be a struggle. Stop accepting that your only options are what society gives you. Stop thinking that questioning the system makes you crazy. Because the truth is, questioning the system is the first step to real freedom. And speaking of control, let's talk about the biggest control system of all, money. Why does it feel like no matter how hard people work, they're still struggling? Have you noticed that the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer, and the middle class is disappearing? That's not an accident. It's by design. The entire system is built on keeping people financially trapped. And if you don't see it, you'll max spend your whole life struggling without knowing why. Most people think poverty is about not having money, but it starts in the mind before it shows up in your life. Think about this. Two people grow up in the same poor neighborhood. One stays broke forever, the other becomes financially free. What's the difference? It's not luck, it's not intelligence, it's mindset. One person believed that struggle was normal. The other refused to accept that life had to be this way. And that's the first lesson. Your financial reality follows your beliefs. Most people were raised to believe money is hard to get. Rich people are selfish or greedy. Wanting more means you're ungrateful. Sound familiar? These beliefs are poison, and they are planted in people from childhood. Because if you believe money is bad or hard to get, you'll never attract it, no matter how hard you work. And guess what? That's exactly what the system wants, because when people believe in scarcity, they will accept low wages, stay stuck in jobs they hate, never question the system, and that keeps the entire machine running. The rich understand what the poor don't. Here's a hard truth. The rich want to play by different rules. They don't work for money, they make money work for them. They don't trade time for cash. They create assets that generate income. They don't live in fear. They see money as a tool, not a trap. And here's the crazy part. Anyone can learn this. But most people never do. Because schools don't teach this. Because society keeps you distracted. Because the system wants you to stay in the cycle. But today, that ends. If you're tired of struggling, you have to do what most people won't. Educate yourself about money. Stop trading time for money. Build assets instead. Shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset. Because here's the truth. Money isn't evil. Money isn't impossible. Money isn't the problem. The problem is the system that programmed you to be afraid of it. And once you unlearn that, you'll never see the world the same way again. Now that you see how society and money keep you in chains. The next question is, how do you break free mentally and emotionally? Because even if you change your finances, if your mind is still trapped, you'll keep falling back into the cycle. The psychological chains that keep people stuck, even when they have the power to escape. So stay locked in, because we're just getting started. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what's one financial belief you're trying to unlearn? Let's break the chains together. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Your mind is the strongest prison, not metal bars, not locked doors, not even people. It's the thoughts you repeat every day. The voice in your head that whispers, "You're not good enough. You'll fail if you try. What if they judge you?" That voice, it wasn't yours to begin with. It came from years of programming, from parents who were afraid, from teachers who told you to follow, not think, from a society that punishes those who question. Your own doubts are the chains that keep you stuck. How many times have you overthought something and missed an opportunity? How often do you let fear of failure stop you before you start? The system doesn't need to control you anymore. You control yourself by staying in fear. It's time to break out. The first step, recognizing the mental patterns that hold you back. Every time you hesitate out of fear, ask yourself, who told me I can't? Why do I believe this? What if I tried anyway? Because God listens. Not to fear, not to hesitation, but to faith in action. Most people don't think. They just repeat. They repeat what they've been told, what their parents said, what society expects. But have you ever stopped and asked, do I actually believe this? Freedom isn't about rebellion. It's about choosing your own beliefs, not inheriting them. Here's how you start thinking for yourself. Question everything. Who benefits from this belief? Does this make me stronger or weaker? Does it bring fear or faith? Challenge fear. Every limitation in your life started as a imagined thought. Change your thoughts, and you change your reality. Listen to your own voice. Not society. Not expectations. Not even what you've always believed. What does your soul say? You don't need permission to be free. You just need the courage to decide. And when you finally do, when you break free from the noise, that's when you'll hear God's voice clearly. Because God listens. To those who are willing to listen to the truth. Not just what they've been told. Religion should set you free, not keep you in fear. But many people don't serve God. They serve rules. They obey because they're afraid, not because they truly love. But what if God never wanted control? What if he wanted connection? True spirituality isn't about fear. It's about faith. It's about knowing God personally, not just obeying blindly. Many people are trapped in religious guilt. They pray out of obligation, not connection. They feel like they're never good enough. But that's not faith. That's fear disguised as devotion. So here's the truth. God isn't a prison guard. He's not keeping score of your mistakes. He listens to your heart, not your guilt. Spirituality is meant to free you, not trap you. It's about building a real connection, not following rules blindly. So stop fearing, start listening, because God listens to those who seek Him with honesty, not fear. This is where it all changes. You've seen the chains, you've seen the lies, you've seen how fear has kept you trapped. Now you have a choice. Do you stay stuck, or do you finally step into true freedom? The world will keep trying to control you. Society will tell you what's normal. Religion will tell you what's right. People will tell you who you should be. But the only voice that matters, the only voice that will set you free, is the one inside you. And when you finally listen to it, when you choose the faith over fear, when you stop letting the world define your worth, that's when you truly start living. You are not a prisoner of society. You are not a slave to expectations. You are not bound by fear. You are free. And when you live like that, when you step into your true power, that's when you finally understand God was listening all along. Now, it's time for you to listen too. Comment below. What's the biggest lie you've broken free from? What's the hardest belief to let go of? Are you ready to live without chains? And God listens, but only you can decide to listen back. The beginning of a life where you're finally free, where you stop waiting for permission, where you stop living for others, because in the end, the only one who can free you is you.